Welcome back. Let's talk about combat, getting beat up, getting your toughness higher, and increasing your combat skill. So basically, the simple way to explain it is how do you the way you get tougher, which again, toughness is this attribute here, which determines how hurt you can get and still get back up in battle, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a second. But that's very key and critical. And then of course all your melee attack and all those skills to fight. How do you get those higher? Well, you just do it by fighting. You do have those little training things you can use at the beginning to get yourself a little bit of skill boost, but they don't really. They're tedious and they also only get you so high. And the only way you can really get good at combat is by getting into real fights. So what we have here is we ran into these characters out here in the Shek Kingdom. These guys are Kral's chosen. They're basically zealot uh, Shek that are hostile to pretty much anybody. I think cruising through the Shek Kingdom. They're especially if you're not a Shek. So they attacked us, of course, on site, and there wasn't really any way. They're pretty high level guys. They're like 44. You can encounter these guys pretty early game, and they can mess you up pretty bad because they're pretty high level characters. And then we also, while we were fighting them, so we couldn't really get away from them. I guess suppose I could have tried, but we weren't going to just run away, and I wanted to get them the combat experience. Now these guys are probably like twice as good as us, as a bit the how to generalize it. So they're a lot better than us. The other thing about combat to keep in mind is that if you just keep fighting hungry bandits and dust bandits, and like you'll notice, like once you get to like the fog man, I kind of got to a point where I can tell, like my characters don't really have trouble getting into fights with them. They pretty much take them down really easily. You kind of notice their skill level just gets to that level where they're able to deal with certain groups of characters, and you're like, okay, we're good enough. We don't really need to keep fighting these guys. You can still keep fighting them, of course. Go for it. You'll get some XP from fighting them, but keep in mind that if you fight weaker characters, I don't know exactly how it works in the back end, but you don't gain as much XP. So once you're stronger than and better at fighting than other characters, when you fight those weaker characters, you gain a lot less XP from fighting them. The only way you can get really good at fighting is fighting people that are much better than you, or at least a little bit better than you in their stats or whatnot. So these guys were a good fight for us because I'm sure we got some good XP from it, but it was risky because they're about twice as good as us, and I didn't bother skirmishing with crossbows. We could have easily kind of gamed it and done that, and that's one way to survive and get good. But you only get good with like shooting your crossbow and being accurate with it, which is nothing wrong with that. But I want these guys to get tough, and the only way they can get tough is by getting hit, and the only way they can get good at fighting is by actually doing melee combat and martial art. Like Hobbs, I'm just having him be a martial artist, so he's going to get good at martial arts by actually fighting that way. He can't just use his crossbow all the time, or he'll never get good at martial arts. So this is a bit of a hairy situation and risky because Ruka's about to. We'll just watch this. She's gonna get smacked. Yeah, she got knocked out. She's that guy's. She was already pretty hurt. She was the last one awake. Now everyone's unconscious, right? So this is like, okay, panic time. What's first thing you want to do? Pause it, check on the status of everyone. And what you're looking for is look at their stats, their critical stats, head, stump, the blood. Of course, blood. If their blood is gone because they got shot with a turret or something, and they bled out, that can be a problem. But usually, it's going to be like in melee combat. It's mostly going to be your head, stomach, and chest, right? So Boop here, he's at -30 on his chest. So his chest is damaged that much. He has toughness of 26, which it says over there on the right. You'll see net health KO point is -29. If I expand this menu too, I can see health KO point is -29. What that tells me is once this unconscious timer runs out, he's not going to wake up. He's going to be in a recovery coma. Now, he needs to be healed, and then he needs to rest in a recovery coma long enough, which it'll go up faster if we put him in a bed or a sleeping bag or whatnot. But basically, the thing to keep in mind, he has to recover from the coma and get above 1 or above 0 so he can wake up again and walk around. Now, he'll still need to heal all the way, to up to 100 or whatnot, and he needs to rest more, or just over time it will heal, but he won't wake up and be able to walk around until it gets over 1. And so I can just go through and check the status of my characters. I can know, okay, this is, we're in a pretty bad state. Like he's negative 31. So if I could heal him quickly, somehow, like no one's awake, so I can't, but if I could heal him quickly and heal this before it gets to negative 31, once this unconscious of 143 seconds timer runs out, he will get up and wake up. Um, a good example of that here is going to be Burn. Burn, the equivalent of being unconscious for a skeleton or a robot, is going to be rebooting. So he's rebooting. He's at 16 seconds. His chest is only hurt to -4. So I know, and his KO point is -27. So I know that when this reboot finishes, he's going to get back up. He's okay in that sense. Now, that's good for me because hopefully I can get him up and moving around and able to heal these other guys. So let's go ahead and let it play out. Let's see what happens here. We'll get him down. Boom. Okay, he's playing now. This is what I wanted to show you. So once they wake up, if all the other characters, the first person who wakes up, the thing they're going to do, or if you have a character by themselves, the first thing they're going to do is just play dead. So he's now playing dead because, he doesn't want to keep fighting, doesn't want to die, right? So, um, what we can do, this is a key mechanic in Kenshi to get his toughness higher. So right now his toughness is 23. All I have to do, especially because there's still enemies nearby that could hurt him. Now this can be risky, and you got to kind of know what you're doing and kind of figure this out so you know how to handle the situation. But I kind of know what I'm going to try to do here, at least attempt. So we're going to tell him to get up, and you'll see his status change to getting up. Now he's going to get up. Did you notice it was, I think it was 23 or 4. Now his toughness skill point jumped to like 3 or 4 points. He went up to 26 because these guys are way tougher than us, and we're just telling him to get back up and get back in the fight potentially, or at least risk getting hurt again. So now he's getting up. No one's targeting him because these berserker guys beat the Kral's chosen because we'd already hurt them enough. Berserkers, these guys are also berserkers. I don't know if I mentioned them. They're kind of like Porshek. They came along after we were fighting Kral's Chosen and started fighting Kral's Chosen. They all fight each other. Shek like to fight. So now Burns getting up. These guys aren't hostile towards me at the moment. We'll see what happens here. But now Burn, one, he gained some toughness, and now he's up and he can heal my other characters. Now I do still have to keep an eye on these berserkers and see if they attack me or not, which they may. And if they do, what I'll do with Burn is I'll use him to. It looks like they're going to wander off, and so we're cool here. But if they wanted to attack me, what I would have used Burn to do. Now, see, Red's waking up because she was. Let's see how close to recovery she was right there. So she just was able to barely wake up. So now that they wake up, as they start to wake up, if you have, this is why you want the medic job assigned, by the way. They're now going to run around and heal everybody that's hurt. And they're pretty good about triaging. Like you can see, he was at -39. She needs to be healed, but they're fairly good at triaging and going to heal people that are the most critically. Like I believe she's going to heal Beep. It looks like they're pretty good at triaging and healing the characters that need the most, that are most critical first. Sometimes you might need to micromanage it. Like, for instance, you might have a character you don't care as much about dying as another. So you might be like, oh no, go heal so and so first. I don't want, I don't care if, the noob dies because I didn't spend much time like leveling him up, but I do care about, Beep because he's been here for, 10 years with us. Okay, so now what happened was the Kral's Chosen got back up. Now, a lot of times, what'll happen, when you beat enemies in battle, they'll just lay on the ground and play dead, like my guys were doing. But these guys probably they're so much tougher than us, and maybe I don't know. They may have some math where it calculates like, no, I can still beat these guys up. I hate them, or maybe this guy's just extra persistent. Persistence is another key way of winning in Kenshi too. So if these guys we keep knocking each other down, if I'm able to keep getting back up, um, I can. I can potentially win. Now, one thing I'm going to do here too. This is another tip. I'm going to tell Azumi because I know she has she's my one that came with a pretty high medic skill. I'm going to tell her to be passive and tell her to do medic because I don't necessarily, now I need to keep an eye on her, make sure that she doesn't get beat up by this Kral's Chosen guy. But I'm going to tell her, actually, I'm going to select the other three that are awake and tell them to attack this dude. Now Kane doesn't have a ranged weapon, so he's probably gonna get knocked back down by this guy because this guy's tough. But we'll go ahead and run through it. Boom. Yeah, he got a hit in on him because this guy's paying more attention to red and burn down here with the crossbows. Now I'm just gonna keep doing this, even though he's not skirmishing. It kind of keeps him out of trouble, keeps him from. And now this is another like strategic type thing. I'm gonna run away from Azumi, so that hopefully these guys come over here and chase us. And we're gonna skirmish, skirmish, skirmish. She's trying to come over and heal one of us, so let's go see who else is. Shrike looks like she's over here. So let's tell. This is where you sometimes have to just micromanage. You can either click on the character on the ground, or you can click on their icon down here, and tell them to first aid. So it can be a little tedious, but we're gonna keep these guys. It's not too much stuff going on, so it's not too chaotic to micromanage. Oh, by the way, what happened to Red? Like no one was here. No one hit her. Well, one, I'm bunching them up together, and as they use their crossbows, so it's more likely to happen because they're so close to each other, in front of each other and stuff. But this is what precision shooting. She got shot. I guarantee you, what happened was Burn shot her on accident. So she fell down, which is okay. We'll get her back up. So now we have Burn and Kane. I may just let I'm gonna in fact I'm just gonna let Kane get beat up, let him go in there and get some combat, and then I'm gonna just use Burn to skirmish these guys. And that way we can she's gonna go heal. So I don't want her going over here and healing. Who else is kind of yeah, she's pretty hurt, so we do need to heal her, but I don't want her getting hit by the Kral's Chosen guy, so I'm going to tell her to go heal Hobbs over there. And then we'll take Burn, and we'll just keep skirmishing and knock these guys back down eventually. This guy's getting up over there. King's busy. He's gonna get his butt kicked. But it's good combat for him. Burn's gonna skirmish, and because we don't want everybody to get in a bad situation and die. So we're gonna kind of go up the hill too, because remember I said I don't. I think it makes a difference. I think even with melee combat, having higher ground is an advantage. But definitely with crossbows, they tend to do more damage. Ooh, we're gonna get whacked. No, avoided it there. Yeah, it's just every time they start to swing, I try to just run back. I know showed you guys how to skirmish, but that's basically what I'm gonna do. That's pretty much it. I mean, these guys are gonna get, as long as they don't get stupid and miss and he gets hit. Now I'm also trying to not run too far away from my friends. Partially, one, I want to be able to keep an eye on what's going on down there, and secondly, I want to be able to get back over there and heal everybody quickly as soon as this guy gets knocked out. Now Zog got knocked out, which is kind of awesome because he'll get more tough. I just see how he's doing. He's pretty hurt. We need to heal him, but this guy, I'm sure we're about to take him out. All right, so that's pretty much it. Now I'm gonna just go run around and heal everyone, and we'll get back on the road. We're heading down. We left Squins up here, and we're actually heading down to this workshop area. Um, we have some sleeping bags, so I'll probably just hang out, like set up a camp and sleep and get some people, healthier again. Maybe totally healthy. Sometimes that takes a long time in sleeping bags. At least healthy enough to walk and get down here, and then we're gonna go raid this area because there's some easy to grab loot since we're down in the area, and then we'll head over to the swamp, or maybe we'll hit the swamp and then come over here. I don't know. And then we're gonna make swing. We're on our way back to the way station. I basically have the characters I want to recruit. We want to get here, do the home base thing, get Azumi researching. That's one of the reasons we're going to go here. So we have a few artifacts that I know we can find here that we're going to need very soon, and then we'll already have them. There's stuff in this area that we could get that's similar. But this is like I said, one of the reasons I settled over here. So there'll be a bunch of stuff I can send people around and run and get. There's some ruins and all kinds of stuff I can get a bunch of technology artifacts so we can do more research. And then eventually once we our research is a little higher, I'm going to go build a base. That's just how I do it. You can do base building early game, but that's just how I'm approaching this strategically. So we have higher technology and it's a little more efficient because we do have fewer people, so the higher technology um, items requires less labor to operate and stuff. So we can keep our community sort of small at least for now, and then maybe later we'll expand it. But I don't know. I kind of like having fewer people. This is a good sized group. They'll get tough. They'll get a lot of fighting and XP because there's not that many of them, and we'll get them leveled up and in a good place. So, anyways, hopefully that's helpful with fighting, KO, recovery coma. Some of these people are going to be in recovery coma, so we either have to carry them somewhere or we need to put them in a sleeping bag so they can rest and get out of the recovery coma so we can walk away. But that's kind of it. And I'll till next time. See you later.